What's up guys, GamerX Joe here, back with another video. Today's video is by Justin, the Night Eliminated episode 5. So in this episode, Justin gets eliminated by Heather. Now Heather had herself, Beth, Owen, Izzy, and not LaShawn, Lindsay. And Justin, Trent, Gwen, LaShawn, and Cody vote for Heather, but that only makes it a 5-person vote. A lot of people like to theorize and speculate that Cody actually voted for Trent. That could be an interesting topic though for another conversation for the day. But the point is, Justin needs 6 votes to control him not getting eliminated. And Izzy has been known to flip on votes. So I think Izzy and Justin could use his looks and give food to Owen, because it wouldn't take much to convince Owen and Izzy. Like, it wouldn't take much for Justin. Like, Owen, it doesn't take much for him to be convinced at all. And Izzy has been on flip on votes. So even if Owen votes against Justin, Izzy would flip. But I'm out on this episode. Heather's out. Can move her down. So I kept the eliminations. Noah, Eva, and Ezekiel would still get eliminated in a similar fashion. So episode 6 is survive the night in the camp and return in the morning. So Katie and Sadie still find the berries and they get lost. Duncan would still tell his story, his horror story, during the campfire. Owen's still on his team, tells the story about him and his grandfather and the bear. Izzy dresses up as the bear and chases him up a tree. Justin here's not going to change that. The Killer Bass would still lose, and I have no reason to believe that Katie just wouldn't get eliminated in the same fashion, because I don't think Justin being here changes that. Episode 7. So this is basically phobia factor facing your fears. Okay. So Beth gets a point for her bug fear. Gwen gets a point for being buried underground, and she's annoyed at Trent for leaving her like the original. Trent gets a point for facing his mime fear. Lindsay gets a point, and Sadie gets a point for doing bad haircuts. Owen and Izzy still get a point like in the original, using their fly fear. Cody's time bomb goes off, and LaShawn doesn't face her spider fear. Duncan gets a point for hugging the cardboard. DJ gets a point for touching the snake after being forced by Courtney. Bridget fails the woods. Jeff fails the rain cloud. Tyler does actually fail his fear of the chickens. I couldn't represent that, but for some reason he sits in there for 3 minutes, and Chris doesn't count his fear, but he still fails his fear. So I will make that a what if, but anyway. Harold fails his fear, and they really need to talk to her, and she's not going to do it, so Courtney fails. It doesn't matter if Justin does it, because the Gophers already win this challenge, but I'm going to say Justin's fear is looking ugly, and he would fail. And yeah, 6-3, they win. And I'm going to say Tyler gets voted off again, because I have no reason to believe that Justin being here instead of Heather would have significant events to change on the Killer Bass to make me believe that these same people wouldn't be voted off. So Justin would probably be the main villain at this point. Justin probably... We need a main villain. I think that would be Justin. So... Okay, the paddle pairs. So paddle back and make fire and paddle back to put down. So Gwen and Trent, because Heather's not here, so separate them. LaShawn and Izzy, and Owen, and now I'm going to say Cody, because he probably would try to get in with Gwen, but I think ultimately Gwen's going to want to go with Trent. Because in the original, Gwen didn't really have a choice to go with Cody, but now she has kind of the decision. And she probably would say, no, I'm going to go with Trent, thanks. Because Gwen's a good person. So, Beth and Lindsay, and now he's Justin. I think Justin's going to be with these two. And here's what I'm thinking. Justin, throughout this episode, is going to realise that he uses looks to his advantage. So, and these two are kind of straight puppies without Heather. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Justin replaces Heather as the ringleader. DJ and Jeff like the original. Bridget and Courtney because Bridget's still not happy about Jeff with his gift. Duncan, Sadie, and Harold in the boat of losers here. So they arrive on the island, and Trent and Lindsay get stuck in quicksand like the original. Cody swings in to try and save them. They eventually get out. Trent and Lindsay get stuck in quicksand like the original. Cody then has to save them. He saves them, and Trent's grateful. So Jeff still gets his injury like in the original. Izzy gives them an idea, and Harold burns the oars, and DJ has to swim his team back, and they win. So the Screaming Gophers go to elimination, and these three are working together. And Justin's with Beth and Lindsay. And Cody and Owen or whoever, and Izzy, whoever they can go on their side. These three would vote for Lashana because she's the biggest threat. These three would vote for Justin. Cody would vote for Trent. No, he wouldn't vote for Trent now because he would be grateful that he saved him from the quicksand. So Trent asks Cody to vote Justin. Owen would vote Shauna. Izzy is the swing vote. And I do think Lashana would be going home. But Izzy still gets chased down with the CRM. So regardless of who wins and who loses, it's an automatic elimination for Izzy at the end of this challenge. Episode 9. So episode 9 is where the paintball theories happen, and Jeff, Bridget, and Harold are the hunters. On this team, it is Owen, Lindsay, Beth, and I believe it was Lashana. But now there's a major difference. Cody does not get mauled by a bear because Justin is actually doing the challenge, unlike Heather in the original, who was just sitting around. So now that Cody isn't mauled by a bear because he never interacts with Beth, DJ by himself wins this challenge. So I think the Cobras will win this challenge. I think easily. But DJ was really good in the original, and Justin, I think they would do a bit better, but I don't think they'd win. So I do think they're losing. Okay, so these three for Justin. These three. Trent, Lashana, Gwen. So I think Justin would get Owen to vote off Lashana. These three would vote for Justin. Cody could cause a tiebreaker between Trent and Justin. I think Cody. I'm sorry, these three vote for Lashana. These four. These three vote for Justin. Cody would probably vote for Justin as well, I think. Actually, no, I think he would throw his vote on Trent. So these three vote for Justin. These four vote for Lashana. Lashana's out. But let me know what you think about that, because that was, to be honest. So episode 10 is the 3-course meal, and DJ, Duncan, and Jeff mess with Harold like in the original. Trent goes unconscious, like the original. Trent gets knocked out by a crate, and they won't knock Justin in the freezer now because they have no reason to, unlike Heather in the original. The only new people is Cody and Justin. Owen eats the ribs, so I think the Gophers would only just do worse without Heather being here. So it makes me believe that the Bass, the Killer Bass, would win this challenge because Owen ate the ribs. And I think Owen would be going home, but Beth still reveals the tiki statue, and Justin would say, "Hey, Beth, what's that statue you got there?" And I think Beth would reveal it, and everyone would be forced to vote him off. So Justin saves himself once again. So this is a rock climbing challenge. First part of the challenge is Duncan and DJ and Gwen. Now, I think it'd be Justin. I think Cody would try to volunteer, but they'd say nah. Gwen, Justin get the point like Heather did in the original because Justin's quite strong, so I think he'd be able to hold her up. Obviously, he doesn't rip her pants off like Heather did in the original, so there's that. The second part of the challenge is cooking and feeding the blowfish. So it's Lindsay and Trent and Jeff and Bridget. And Trent still gets sent to the infirmary. My boy Trent, he's in Ireland. These few episodes, Trent gets sent to the infirmary, man. So this means that Jeff and Bridget get the point like the original. So this is the shoot by William and Tell, and originally it was Courtney and Sadie, and Cody and Owen. We know how Sadie does in this challenge, but could Cody beat Sadie? And my answer is yes. I think Cody's been shown to be pretty crafty, so I think Cody could definitely beat Sadie. And the final part of the challenge, I forgot there's 2 more challenges. So the blind trapeze is Harold and Bridget, and Lindsay and Justin. I do want to point out that DJ would still lose his bunny, so it would still be eaten left in the water by Jeff and Bridget on the pool. It would be taken by a bird that would then be dropped in the water and ate by a shark. So, and Duncan would still go off to get the bunny for a new bunny for DJ. Bridget and Harold win. Justin is electrocuted by the jellyfish and he gets sent to the infirmary. So the final part of the challenge is the blind tobogganing challenge with DJ and Jeff and Gwen and Cody. I think DJ would still lift up his mask to see his bunny, but because DJ lifted up his mask and these two didn't, I think the Gophers win, so we can bring Justin and Trent back down. And I think Sadie would still eliminate it in a very similar fashion to original, because I don't think Justin being here would have big. I don't think Justin being here would have me to have a big enough reason to believe that he just wouldn't get voted. That she just wouldn't get voted off. Episode 12. So the first part of the challenge is the Canoe challenge, and Justin has Lindsay. So I think Justin would probably drop out first now because he doesn't want to damage his fine physique and his face and his nails and that. So 300 word essay, Trent and DJ would fail like the original, And I think I'm going to have Lindsay fail as well, because I don't think Lindsay would be the best at this. Cody's the only one who wasn't here originally, but I think Cody could write a 300 essay. So the next part of the challenge is the obstacle course, and Harold is forced to quit like the original, and I think Cody would fail this as well. Duncan would still be sent to the boathouse. Courtney goes swim like the original. Then in the morning they hang by a tree, so it's these four. I don't know where Bridget was out in the original because it was these five. Owen was there, and I'm going to see Bridget out of these people is still in it because she's the only one that I don't know where she fell out in. So I think going upside down a tree, I think Bridget is out. Courtney would be out in the original. Owen, I think Gwen wins this challenge. But if you don't remember, this was the round where Harold rigged the votes against Courtney, so that would still happen. Episode 13. Now, this is the point where the skydiving. So Trent and DJ, I think the original. DJ, I think, yeah, he pushes Trent out. Trent goes to the infirmary like the original. Moose riding, it would be Lashana. On the Gophers now, it would have to be someone else. So they get the point to us. And I think I'm going to have Cody and Justin were the only two people I went here originally. And I think I'm going to have Justin volunteer. And he would use his looks on the Moose, so he'd get the point. And then it comes down to the skis with Lindsay was really good in the original, so Duncan would still be the driver, and this leaves Harold. And the driver would be Owen or Cody, but it doesn't really matter because Harold, Heather's not here to get her top rift off, so the Killbass now win this challenge. So they actually win. We can bring Trent down here again. And who do I think they're voting for? I think Justin would be able to persuade Lindsay at this point. Owen is kind of, he gets persuaded, and these three, well, Gwen, Trent, and Cody, vote for Justin. And in this episode, they would realize Justin isn't really that good at the challenges. So these three vote for Justin. Justin, Lindsay, and Justin persuades Owen with food and his looks. Counter this by voting for Cody. Gwen and Trent would probably also vote for Cody because he never has that talk in this episode with Gwen. So I think Cody gets eliminated here, which is a shame. So, because, again, they don't really need Cody. Gwen and Trent can just either persuade Owen next time, and they'll be at the motion. So, boys versus girls. So this is the eating challenge. This is DJ, Jeff, Duncan, Harold, Bridget. Gwen, Trent, Owen, Justin, and Lindsay. So this is episode 14. Bye bye, Killer Bass. Bye bye, Screaming Gophers. So this is the eating challenge. Originally it was a tie, but the guys are now going to win this. Originally it was a tie, but Owen would now win this regardless which one he faces between Bridget, Gwen, and Lindsay. Bridget is a vegetarian. Lindsay was seen in action eating DJ's food and accidentally was delicious, but that's because it was Mama Spice. That's not because she has an iron stomach. And Gwen's really good at eating challenges, but no one can really top Owen. Owen's probably the best at eating challenges. But it doesn't matter as it's an elimination round. Merge day. So this is the merge cast. The only real difference is Harold and Justin have joined the teams. And we need to bring back Eva and Izzy. So, episode 15. And no one's beaten Eva, because when you actually watch this episode, Eva did the best outside of Lashona, and now that Lashona's not here, I think Eva wins immunity. So, I had to think about this for Duncan, because Duncan's a smart guy, and Duncan wouldn't make a guys alliance now, because the reason why he made the guys alliance was because there's more girls than guys. So with 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys, there's 4 of the guys. I think Duncan would make a former Kill Battle alliance, so I think he'd get Bridget on his side. Justin would have Izzy on his side, and Harold is on his own. And Duncan is cool with Gwen, so I think he'd be able to get Gwen in this alliance. And Trent, maybe. And Owen would be with Justin, and Harold's just kind of whoever can he persuade over by the vote. And Gwen and Trent are together, and Bridget, Jeff likes Bridget. And I think Duncan would want to get. So who would they vote for? This is the so these three. Gwen goes over to Duncan and tells him to vote for Justin. So these three vote for Justin. No, these three would vote for Harold. Actually, yeah, they would have enough messing around with them. These two vote for Justin. These 4 would vote for Duncan because they would see he's the biggest threat outside Eva. And Justin would get Harold to vote with Duncan. So these 5 vote Duncan. These 6 would vote for Harold. Eva would either vote for Duncan. Eva could either make a tie, or she can vote for Duncan and Harold. And I think vote for Harold because she would respect Duncan as a strong player. So Harold's out. This is basically trying to find your treasure chest. And this episode is vastly different now for one major reason. Trent does not get kissed by Heather because that wouldn't happen now, so he wouldn't get voted off. So the only people here are Eva and Justin, so the only 2 here. And the only people that went originally were Heather and Lashona. Heather got the immunity. So I gave Eva Chef's Fridge, and Justin I'll gave it. DJ fails, and Justin would pass get his key. So who gets voted off here? And I think Justin gets these 3 to vote off these 4. Vote off DJ because he failed the challenge. These 3 would vote for Justin. These 3 would vote for Justin. Even if Eva voted for DJ, I still think Justin's going home in that vote. So yeah, that's what I think would happen. Personally, I think Eva just vote off Justin. And that's where Justin would be if he wasn't eliminated in episode 5. So, episode 17. So throughout the challenge, this is the person who has to hide and be sneaky. And originally, this is where Duncan made the guys' alliance, but there's only two other guys. So, and if I did this, 3, 5, there's still more guys. So Duncan wouldn't really need a guys' alliance. So, what happens? Well, Bridget still gets skunk, get sprayed by the skunk, like the original. Gwen and Trent are hiding together, so they get caught. Lindsay gets caught. Izzy would fight Chef like the original. Owen and DJ would be on the roof together. So it's the person who ever finds them. I think Eva wins this challenge because I think she would last the longest. Duncan would last the longest in his hiding spot. And Eva would make it to the end first. So I think those two win immunity. And Gwen and Trent would both call out DJ and Owen. So they both get immunity. Which means who's everyone voting for? So let's sort these into alliances. Gwen and Trent. These four. And Lindsay, Izzy, and Owen are just kind of, yeah, they're still working together, but these four, I believe, are going to target Izzy because she's the biggest threat on the team who's not immune. Eva's immune. So, Duncan, and obviously these two. Actually, no. Eva would get the end first now, so she'd win immunity. Nobody would call out DJ. I think Duncan wouldn't call out DJ. Gwen would call out DJ, so she wins immunity, along with Eva. So I think Duncan and Eva would win immunity. Okay, there aren't people there, but you know what I mean. Duncan and Eva win immunity. So these three vote Izzy. Bridget would vote for Izzy. These two vote Izzy. I think these three would vote for Bridget. I think Izzy's out. I think, personally, Izzy does not survive this vote. Episode 18. This is a building of a bike from scratch and racing through the finish line. Trent likes bikes and is very good at building them, so with Trent, we get this. Lindsay, for some reason, was really good at this challenge, so I'm keeping that. And Eva could make a bike, I think. So, who's failing? Jeff wouldn't figure the bolts now because Bridget's here. Gwen would wipe out. I still think Jeff would wipe out because I don't think he would be the best at something like this. DJ wipes out. And that leaves the final 6. Lindsay's the only one who I could see possibly crossing the finish line, though, as she was really good in the original and would have crossed first had she not been tricked by Heather and got her wheel stuck. So, Duncan and Owen wipe out, we know that. It comes down to these 4, dominates this challenge, so I think she's a machine, so she would come second place. And it's between Bridget and Trent. And for me, I'm going to say Trent comes third, with Bridget coming last. And because the pretty unfair ruling, Bridget gets eliminated. So let's move her down. Episode 19. This is avoid being caught by the psycho killer. So let's see. Owen stays with the group now because Izzy's not there to kind of make him go in the woods. Lindsay would stay with the group. DJ and Jeff go off. He goes to the bathroom. DJ comes back from the group. And who gets caught here? Everyone's now just together. But do I think anyone would do as bad as DJ? Because people can run away scared, but without facing the psycho killer. And my answer would be no. I think now we would have to have a traditional vote, but we have to go through the process. So I think Jeff would get caught. DJ and Lindsay would scream. Owen gets caught. Trent would sacrifice himself to save Gwen. Duncan would probably trick Gwen and Eva. And I think because I think Gwen and Eva would both attack the Psycho Killer, and I think it'd be unfair for Chris to give one of them immunity. I'm going to say they both gain immunity, because Chris in this episode never specifically says only one person can gain immunity. So I'm going to say they both gain it. And the only people they can vote for is Lindsay and DJ, because he wouldn't perform as badly like he did, as bad as the original. So I believe Jeff and Duncan would vote for Lindsay. Trent would vote for Lindsay. Owen would vote for Lindsay. Eva and Gwen probably with Lindsay. So as sad as it is, I think Lindsay's out. DJ's everyone likes I know they like Lindsay, but I feel like DJ just is more popular to the group, so they would keep him. Okay. So Lindsay and DJ. So these two vote for each other. Duncan and Jeff vote for Lindsay. Eva votes for DJ for being their former teammate. Trent would vote for DJ because he's in Duncan's alliance. Gwen would vote for Lindsay. Owen is the swing vote. And I think he would vote for Lindsay. Like, Trent might actually vote for Lindsay, but it doesn't matter because I think Lindsay would be out. In a 5-2 vote, Lindsay's eliminated. Episode 20. Trying to pick the animal buddies is difficult, but it doesn't matter. Let me explain why. The winner of this challenge doesn't gain immunity. The meal is the prize. Gwen was afraid of being the bottom two, as if she was going to get voted off. So I think DJ would kill this challenge and he would win. But I just think I was going to vote off Eva because they would see it as the biggest threat. And they'll have it before the Eva. So Eva's out. Episode 21. This is Wakanda Gone Wild. So the pairs are Jeff and Gwen, Trent and Duncan, and DJ and Owen. So the first part of the challenge is feeding your partner, and Owen, DJ win like the original. The second part of the challenge is rowing to Boney Island. I could see Duncan and Trent arguing with each other, but I can see throughout this episode that they kind of bond. Gwen and Jeff win it, and this leaves the remembering the eliminations. And I think Duncan and Trent would win this challenge. So now we'd have a traditional vote on who to eliminate. And because Jeff never votes off Bridget, Duncan has no reason to betray him now. And I think they would get rid of Trent or Gwen because they would see that they're a major threat. Like, they're a couple, like, if a couple gets any further, if they get to the final two, let's say they vote off Owen, then Jeff and DJ. If Duncan's in the final two, they're going to pick each other. And Duncan can't have that. So Duncan's going to get Owen. And I think they would vote off Trent here because Trent would likely be seen to win more of a popularity contest than Gwen. Episode 22. Episode 22 is one of the most wow episodes in the sense that there's not even a challenge. The other campers choose to vote off. So who do I think they vote off? I think Gwen and Duncan are out the running. And I think DJ. DJ is possible, but I don't think he would. It's between Owen and Jeff. Katie and Sadie really like Owen. And I think that Bridget would say she misses Jeff, and everyone would start saying Jeff. if you want to keep, Sean would say, if you don't want to keep Jeff in the game, don't say Jeff. Heather would just say Jeff because she's Heather. Or would it be Owen? Oh, that's difficult. Would it be Owen or Jeff? I feel like it might actually be Owen. I think Owen gets eliminated because Heather Owen's the most popular and the nice guy and very liked by everyone. So they would say Owen's name. Lorshana says if you don't say Owen's name, if you want to keep him in. Courtney says it. Heather says it because she doesn't like him. And then obviously Justin would say it. Trent would say it. The parrot would say it. And pretty unfairly, Owen would get eliminated. Episode 23. Episode 23 is Camp Castaways. Everyone's now just on the raft together. So this means that no one's actually arguing, and they all make it back. Or all get marshmallows, but it doesn't matter as it's not an elimination round. Episode 24. Episode 24 is Are We There Yeti? But Gwen's the only girl now, so it wouldn't be guys versus girls. So I'm just going to do the pairs that I like personally. And I'm going to do Jeff and DJ. And Gwen and Duncan. And when you actually watch the episode, Duncan had a map. So that would still happen. But because Jeff and DJ are very nice people, and Gwen and Duncan are very good at survival challenges and stuff, they could easily take over their kindness and completely catch them off guard. So I think Gwen and Duncan are a much better team than Jeff and DJ, and they would lose. So Duncan would have to decide who he would want to vote off, because he's cool with Gwen, but not in this episode. This is actually an interesting vote because Chef chooses who to eliminate. So Gwen and Duncan are safe. And because Chef sees a bit of his former self in DJ, he's going to choose to get rid of Jeff here. So 4th place, Jeff. Episode 25. So this is I Triple Dog Dare You. So I Triple Dog Dare You. Gwen drank out of a toilet, so we know that Gwen will be in the finale. The dares are a random element. I have no way of knowing who would get what dare, but looking at the dares in the original, I think DJ gets eliminated because I think Gwen and Duncan bring the worst out of each other. So DJ would tag out before they would, ultimately having DJ 3rd place. So Gwen and Duncan each get winning endings, depending on who wins. So Gwen's ending is very similar to the original, and Duncan's winning ending is very similar to his inaction. So this is how I think it would go in the season. And who would be on what team? DJ's on Duncan, Jeff's with Duncan, Owen's probably with Duncan, Trent, Gwen, Eva's Gwen, Lindsay's Duncan. She might actually go with Gwen. Gwen. Definitely Gwen. Gwen. Duncan. Gwen. Heather would be with Duncan because she doesn't like Gwen. Noah would probably be with Gwen. And Ezekiel... Ezekiel might go with Duncan. So I think most people would go with Gwen. So ultimately, that's it for this theory. Thank you guys for watching. Comment, like, subscribe. And peace for a while.